I never imagined that betrayal could reach the point where my own child became an accomplice. But life has a way of testing you in the cruelest ways. This is my story, how I discovered my wife's affair and the shocking role my daughter played in hiding it, and how it ultimately ended our family. My name is Zain. I had been married to my wife Fatima for 10 years. We had a daughter, Areeba, who was 7 years old. On the surface, our life looked perfect. A stable home, a loving family, and shared friends who admired our bond. I trusted Fatima completely. I trusted my daughter implicitly. The first warning signs were subtle. Fatima began spending more time on her phone, sneaking out for vague errands and staying late at work. She became secretive and defensive whenever I asked questions. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Stress, workload, maybe even just fatigue, but deep down, I felt a growing unease. One evening, my suspicion became unbearable. I quietly checked her phone and discovered explicit messages and photos exchanged with another man. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. Fatima, the woman I loved and trusted, had been cheating. I wanted to confront her immediately, but something made me pause. Over the next few days, I noticed strange behavior from Areeba. She asked questions, made excuses for her mother, and even tried to divert my attention whenever I suspected something. Slowly, it became clear. My daughter, knowingly or unknowingly, was helping her mother cover up the affair. Shock, heartbreak, and anger consumed me. My wife's betrayal was devastating enough, but to realize that my own daughter had become a participant, even in a small way, was unbearable. The lines between love and deceit had blurred in ways I could never have imagined. I knew I needed evidence before taking any steps. I began documenting everything: messages, photos, hidden communications, and accounts of my daughter's interventions. I didn't want Fatima to deny anything. Every lie, every secret, every attempt to hide the truth was meticulously recorded. When the evidence was undeniable, I confronted Fatima. She tried to justify her actions, saying she was unhappy or seeking excitement. I didn't argue. I simply showed her the proof and told her that the trust was gone. The marriage, as it had existed, was over. I filed for divorce, including custody considerations. The court process was emotional and complicated. Fatima tried to argue for custody, but the evidence of deceit and her manipulation of our daughter weighed heavily. In the end, I gained full custody, and Areeba was placed with me, though the emotional damage required careful repair. After the divorce, I focused on rebuilding my life and repairing the bond with my daughter. I knew that the betrayal had not been her fault entirely, but she needed guidance to understand honesty, trust, and boundaries. Therapy and open communication became crucial to healing. Months later, I saw the consequences of Fatima's choices. Her social circle distanced themselves, her reputation suffered, and the man she had been involved with abandoned her. She had sought excitement, but betrayal came at a high cost. For me, the emotional journey was painful. Nights were filled with memories of happier times, shattered trust, and a family torn apart. But over time, I found peace. Rebuilding my life, protecting my daughter, and focusing on our future became my priority. The hardest lesson I learned is this: betrayal can reach even the closest relationships, but accountability, evidence, and decisive action are essential to protect yourself and those you love. Even when someone you trust fails you, reclaiming control is possible. Fatima's affair destroyed her marriage, reputation, and her relationship with our daughter. I exposed the betrayal, filed for divorce, and committed myself to healing. And in the aftermath, I found the strongest form of justice: peace, dignity, and closure for me and Areeba. I caught my wife cheating, and my daughter helped her cover the affair. But in the end, truth prevailed and justice was restored.